Welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Oh yeah, a classic.
Yeah, have you read this one?
Oh yeah. I mean, who hasn't, right? It's one of the originals in the self-help genre.
It is, and it's interesting because it's not just kind of like a airy-fairy self-help book.
Mm.
It's actually based on like 20 plus years of research that Hill did.
Yeah, and it was all inspired by Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Carnegie basically challenged him to figure out the secret to success.
Oh, wow.
Like go out and interview all these successful people and figure out like what is the common thread.
So like what was their secret sauce?
Exactly. Yeah, and he interviewed hundreds of people.
Wow.
From inventors like Thomas Edison to business giants like Henry Ford.
It's so interesting that he approached it as like a formula.
Yeah, like success is not just some random thing that happens to some people.
Right.
There's like a pattern, a set of principles that anyone can learn and apply.
Like an algorithm almost.
Yeah, exactly. And he even believed that this formula was so powerful that if it were taught in schools, it could revolutionize education.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
Yeah, he was not messing around.
So let's dive into this formula, this secret to success.
All right, let's do it.
So Hill outlines 13 principles in the book, but the foundation really is this idea of burning desire. He says it's the starting point of all achievement.
It's like the fuel that propels you forward.
Okay.
You got to want something so badly that it consumes you, it becomes an obsession.
So it's not just wishing or hoping, it's like
And a burning fire in your belly.
right.
It's got to be that strong.
And he gives this amazing example in the book of Edwin Barnes, who was so determined to work with Edison, not just for him.
Yeah, that story is incredible.
He didn't even have the money to travel to meet Edison, but his desire was so strong.
Like unshakable focus.
Yeah, and he eventually made it to Edison's lab and got his chance.
He willed it into existence.
So it makes you think what would happen if we applied that kind of burning desire to our own goals?
It's like a superpower waiting to be unlocked.
And that brings us to Hill's next principle, faith.
Ah, yes, faith.
And it's not really about religious faith he's talking about.
It's about believing in yourself.
Okay.
Believing in your ability to achieve your goals.
So it's that unshakable belief in yourself and your ability to turn that burning desire into reality.
Exactly. It's like having that inner knowing that you will succeed no matter what.
So how do we cultivate that kind of faith?
Well, Hill was a big believer in the power of autosuggestion.
Autosuggestion.
Yeah, you basically repeat affirmations to yourself over and over again
Okay.
until they sink into your subconscious mind and become beliefs.
So you're basically reprogramming your mind.
Exactly. And he even provides this self-confidence formula in the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a set of affirmations that you can personalize
Wow.
to kind of program your mind for success.
But I've heard that the subconscious mind doesn't really distinguish between positive and negative thoughts.
Oh, that's absolutely true.
So it takes in everything.
Everything, both good and bad, and it translates it all into reality.
So we have to be really careful about what we're thinking.
Absolutely. Hill tells this chilling story about a bank official named Joseph Grant.
What happened?
Grant made a mistake at work, and he basically committed what Hill calls mental suicide.
Oh, wow.
He just kept replaying those negative thoughts over and over again. The fear, the guilt.
Yeah.
It just overwhelmed him, and it ultimately contributed to his death.
That's a powerful reminder to be mindful of what we're feeding our subconscious minds.
Yeah, our thoughts are incredibly powerful. They can literally shape our reality.
So we talked about burning desire faith, but what about knowledge?
Ah, yes, specialized knowledge. Hill emphasizes that it's not enough to just have general knowledge. You need specific knowledge in the area you want to succeed in.
So it's not about being a walking encyclopedia.
No, it's about mastering the knowledge that's relevant to your goals.
He uses Henry Ford as an example, right?
Yeah, Ford was a genius when it came to automobiles, but he was criticized for his lack of expertise in other areas.
But it was that specialized knowledge that made him so successful.
Exactly. Knowledge is only potential power until it's organized and applied toward a definite purpose.
And that leads us to organized planning.
You need a plan, a blueprint for success.
It's not enough to just dream, you got to have a strategy.
Exactly. Think of it like building a house. You wouldn't just start laying bricks without a blueprint, would you?
No, Definitely not.
Hill gives this great example of a woman who helped her son land a job by creating a plan book for him.
Okay, plan book.
Yeah, it showcased his skills, but it also offered valuable suggestions to the employer.
Wow, she really went above and beyond.
Yeah, she was a master strategist.
It emphasizes the importance of having a well-defined plan.
And now imagine combining your burning desire, your unwavering faith, your specialized knowledge, and your organized planning with the power of collaboration.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
That's where Hill's concept of the mastermind comes in.
The mastermind.
It's all about surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who can inspire, support, and challenge you.
So it's about forming alliances with people who share your vision.
Exactly. It's about harnessing the collective intelligence and energy of a group to achieve something bigger than yourselves.
And Hill uses Henry Ford as an example again.
Yeah, Ford was close friends with brilliant minds like Thomas Edison, Luther Burbank, Harvey Firestone, and John Burroughs.
Wow, what a crew.
Talk about a mastermind.
He basically absorbed their knowledge and energy, which amplified his own power.
Exactly. Hill believed that anyone who accumulates great wealth recognizes and utilizes this principle.
So choosing the right people for your mastermind is crucial.
Absolutely. It's about creating a supportive environment that fuels your growth.
So take a moment to consider your own circle of influence.
Are the people you spend the most time with lifting you up or holding you back?
That's a powerful question.
And now get ready for one of Hill's most controversial principles, sex transmutation.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about this one. It's a bit delicate.
It can be a sensitive topic, but it's a key part of his philosophy, so we need to address it.
Okay, so what exactly is sex transmutation?
It's not about suppressing or eliminating sexual desire.
Yeah.
It's about channeling that energy into creative and productive pursuits.
So it's like redirecting that energy.
Exactly. Hill observed that many highly successful individuals have strong libidos.
Interesting.
And he believed that learning to transmute this energy could be a pathway to genius.
Really?
It takes a lot of willpower and self-discipline, but the potential rewards are huge.
He tells that story about an enchanted kettle, right?
Oh, yeah. A secret message combined with the right ingredients led to incredible wealth.
So it's a metaphor for how ideas, when fueled by the right energy, can be transformed into something truly valuable.
Exactly. It's about harnessing that creative power and directing it toward your goals.
This is so fascinating. It really makes you think about how we allocate our energy and the potential we might be leaving untapped.
It's a reminder that we have more control over our thoughts and actions than we often realize.
Now, before we dive into overcoming fear, which can be a major obstacle on the path to success,
Yeah, fear can be crippling.
I want to address this secret that Hill hints at throughout the book.
Oh, yeah, the big reveal.
Are you ready for this?
Hit me with it.
The secret is that there is no secret.
Uh-huh. I love it.
But don't be disappointed,
No, not at all.
because this is actually incredibly empowering.
It is.
Hill believed that success isn't some magical formula or hidden knowledge.
Right.
It's the result of understanding and applying these principles with unwavering faith and persistence.
It's about the journey, the process of growth and self-discovery.
So it's not about stumbling upon some secret handshake.
Nope.
It's about truly embodying these principles and making them a part of your life.
It's about you. The power is within each and every one of us.
The secret is hidden in plain sight because it's not about finding some magical formula. It's about you.
It's about who you become along the way.
The secret is that success is available to anyone who's willing to put in the work, master these principles, and never give up.
You got it.
The power to achieve anything you desire lies within you. So that's a pretty powerful revelation, right? The secret being that there is no secret.
Yeah, it's about taking ownership of your success.
But you mentioned earlier that fear can be like a major roadblock.
Oh, absolutely. Fear can be crippling.
So how does Hill suggest we overcome those fears, those things that are holding us back?
Well, he gets really specific. He identifies 6 basic fears that everyone faces. Fear of poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death.
He doesn't just name them though, right?
Oh, no, he dives deep.
Okay.
He really breaks down how these fears can manifest in our lives, how they can lead to indecision and worry.
So he's shining a light on those shadowy parts of ourselves.
Exactly, the parts we tend to avoid.
It's interesting. He calls them basic fears.
Yeah, it's like he's saying these are universal human experiences.
Like we all deal with them in some way.
Exactly, and he really digs into the fear of poverty.
What does he say about that one?
He suggests that it stems from this kind of inherent human tendency to, well, take advantage of each other economically.
Okay, so not like literally eating each other.
No, not quite, but the fear of scarcity can drive us to act in ways that are, less than admirable.
Yeah, that's a pretty sobering thought.
It is, and it makes sense, right? Our relationship with money is so tied to our sense of self-worth.
It's not just about the lack of resources.
No, it's the psychological and emotional toll that fear can take.
He paints this picture in the book of like a man who's down on his luck unemployed.
Yeah, and he feels inferior even around people he knows aren't really his equals.
Just that fear of not having enough.
It's a powerful illustration of how fear can really cripple our potential.
So how do we break free from that grip of fear?
Hill argues that one of the best antidotes is definite decision.
Definite decision.
Yeah, once you make a clear, unwavering decision, that mental anguish of indecision starts to disappear.
So it's about taking control.
Exactly, and he tells this really interesting story about a death row inmate.
Oh, wow.
And the inmate was surprisingly calm just hours before his execution.
Really?
And it turned out he had made peace with his fate.
He had accepted it.
Yeah, and that decision, as difficult as it was, brought him a strange kind of peace.
So how does that apply to like our everyday fears?
It's about taking control of your mind and not letting fear dictate your actions.
Okay.
So let's say you're afraid of criticism.
Right.
Hill would say, make a decision to not let the opinions of others control your life.
So it's about shifting our perspective.
Exactly. You choose how you respond.
He even suggests reaching a blanket decision.
Yeah, like nothing is worth the price of worry.
That sounds incredibly freeing.
It is, but making that decision to overcome fear, especially deep-seated fears, it's not easy.
No, it's a process.
It's an ongoing process of self-awareness, discipline, and choosing your thoughts carefully.
So you have to be really intentional.
And Hill provides a list of self-analysis questions in the book to help you pinpoint which fears might be holding you back.
So he's like challenging us to confront those fears head on.
Exactly. Take responsibility for your mental state.
This reminds me of the mastermind principle we talked about earlier.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Do you think having that supportive network can help with overcoming fear?
Absolutely. It's about cultivating an environment that nurtures growth, not one that feeds your feels.
So the people you surround yourself with really matter.
They do remember. Men take on the nature and the habits and the power of thought of those with whom they associate.
So choose your mastermind wisely.
Surround yourself with people who uplift and empower you, not those who drain your energy.
It's like having a team of cheerleaders in your corner.
Exactly. They're there to support you through the challenges.
So the mastermind principle isn't just about achieving success.
No, it's about building resilience and supporting each other through tough times.
Now, I'm really curious to hear what Hill discovered about the subconscious mind.
Yes, the subconscious.
It feels so mysterious, almost inaccessible.
It's like this hidden control center operating behind the scenes.
It's like this hidden part of ourselves that we don't really have control over.
Well, Hill believed that we actually can influence our subconscious mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he called it the connecting link between the finite mind of man and infinite intelligence.
Wow. Okay, that sounds pretty deep.
It is. He believed that by tapping into the subconscious, you could access unlimited power and creativity.
But how do you actually tap into that?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
Well, Hill emphasized that the subconscious doesn't judge between good and bad thoughts.
So it takes in everything.
Everything. It absorbs all the thoughts we feed it, and then it translates those thoughts into their physical equivalent.
Oh, wow. So that means we have to be really careful about what we're thinking.
Exactly. Our thoughts can literally shape our reality.
It's almost like we have this power, but we don't realize how strong it is.
Hill even suggests that our thoughts have a vibratory frequency.
A vibratory frequency?
Yeah, and that we can raise that frequency through positive emotions.
Like what kind of emotions?
Like faith, love, enthusiasm, gratitude.
So it's not just about thinking positive thoughts, it's about feeling them too.
Exactly. You have to embody those emotions.
He actually says that thoughts mixed with any of the emotions constitute a magnetic force.
Yes. And that force attracts other similar thoughts.
So if you're constantly focusing on negative things,
you're going to attract more negativity into your life.
it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. You create your own reality.
Now, this idea of vibratory frequency, it might sound a little out there to some people.
It does sound a bit woo-woo.
But think about it. Haven't you ever walked into a room and just felt like the energy shifted?
Oh, yeah, totally. Like you can just feel the vibe of a place.
Sometimes it's heavy and negative. Other
Yeah.
times it's light and positive.
Hill's point is that we all emit a certain energy, a vibration.
And it's influenced by our thoughts and emotions.
Exactly. And by choosing to focus on the positive, We can raise our own frequency and attract more positive experiences.
So we can actually change our reality by changing our thoughts and emotions.
That's the power of the subconscious mind.
That's incredible.
Mhm.
And did he make any connections between the subconscious mind and that concept of sex transmutation?
Oh, yeah, definitely. He believed that by channeling sexual energy into other creative outlets, you could supercharge your subconscious.
So instead of using that energy physically, you're redirecting it to fuel your creativity.
Exactly. It's like taking that raw primal energy and transforming it into something constructive.
Wow. This has been such an insightful deep dive into Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
We've learned about burning desire, faith, specialized knowledge, organized planning, the mastermind principle, sex transmutation, the subconscious mind, and the 6 basic fears.
And the secret, that there is no secret.
Exactly. So much wisdom packed into this one book.
It's a classic for a reason.
But as we wrap up, I want to ask you, what advice would you give to our listeners who are ready to put these principles into practice?
Well, I would say start by identifying your deepest desires. Those things that truly light you up inside.
Those things that make you feel alive.
Exactly. Then cultivate the faith to believe in yourself, acquire the knowledge and skills you need, build a supportive network, and overcome those fears that might be holding you back.
And remember, success is not a destination. It's a journey.
It's about continuous growth and self-discovery.
So to echo Hill's thought-provoking question, what above all else do you most desire? Do you intend to acquire it?
That's the question we all need to ask ourselves.
Until next time, keep those desires burning, keep those minds expanding, and as always, thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.